Asra, welcome, welcome, welcome. Nice to see you. How you doing, pal? Hello, hello, welcome, welcome in. Let's get everybody trickling in. It is a Friday morning for me, bright and early. Nice to see you all here. Just clearing out some stuff on my desktop so we have more space. Doing okay, hoping an interview I have tomorrow goes well. I need money. Crossing my fingers for you, Azra. You're gonna do it. You're gonna go there. You're gonna nail it. If you're feeling scared, don't worry. Do it scared. And you're gonna do great. Put your best foot forward. Take the time that you need in the morning to get ready. It's nice to see y'all. Thanks. Just a quick video one, so not too bad. Okay. Video call. Lots of like you have time to kind of like be able to not relax, but you know, like what's the word? Ground yourself before the interview. But I'm wishing you all the luck. You got this. Welcome on in, everybody. This is brand new programming here on the channel. For those of y'all who may have backed the Beast Within on you know, on crowdfunder, would have received the update that this was a piece of programming that I wanted to do. Oh, piece of programming I wanted to do for a little while. I'm very, very keen on this particular bit of programming. One, as a, you know, as someone who's backed enough projects in the past through a crowdfunding source, whether it's Kickstarter or whatever, backer kit. Sometimes months go by and you don't think about it, and then you do think about it and you go, huh, I wonder how that project is doing. And most projects worth their salt give updates pretty regularly, but y'all don't get the behind the scenes. Y'all don't really get the look behind the curtain of like what is actually being done. And I think for bigger projects, I think that's fine, because usually it's, you know, they have got a big team and stuff like that, but we are a smaller team. I'm quite literally the only writer and like game designer. My partner is the artist and the artist for the humanoid aspect of all the art, as well as like covers and layout, and also soundboarding my ideas. And Griffin, who at Baron Boar is the artist for the beast archetypes. So we're a very small team. This is our first time doing something this ambitious. And yeah, I understand that folks might be like, hey, what the fuck is up with this? What's going on? You're a smaller team. We'd like to know what's going on. So this is kind of like a way for me to like have like an accountability thing, but also help y'all kind of see whether your funds are going, how I've been spending the time, and all of that. Just saw the art in the retweet and it's so good. Griffin really just went all out with the art. I gave him a few references of like some of the aesthetics that I wanted represented, and like kind of like adding my own like cultural flair into it. Also my flair of things that I've enjoyed growing up from like games that we've both enjoyed, and I gave him some of those refs and I'm like, all right, Griff, go. And there are many points where I'm like, I think I want this aesthetic with the clothes, but I don't have like exact refs, so go hog wild. And boy did he go hog wild, and boy are they incredible. But before we get into all that, welcome to the State of the Beast Within, brand new programming. I'm hoping to at least do this monthly, at least once a month, if not twice a month, to kind of like let you all in on the progress that we are making. So welcome on in. They're also motive and action-y, love it. The bear in the bottom corner, the mole with the fishnets, so good. Yeah, the mole, that kind of like mesh top, I was like, oh, I kind of want to pay homage to Bloody Roar, and some of the earlier concept art that they had for one of their werebeast for the moles. And Griff knew exactly what I was talking about, so he nailed it for me there. And he really nailed that bear expression. I gave him something vague like regal or something, like regal and knows their shit or something, as a vibe, and he just absolutely nailed it. Welcome on in, friends. Looks so smart. I know, right? He like nailed it. I gave him something really vague for that. Before we get started, we have a few things we should chat about. Right, a few things we gotta chat about. First off, y'all should check out my Discord. This is where you can learn when the Beast Within is progress of Beast Within, streams that I'm a part of, when our streams are gonna air. I usually post them on our Discord, as well as all the links to all my other projects. So feel free to join our Discord. It's very, very chill. It's not going to be packing your notifications by any stretch of the imagination, but it's a really, really cool place for folks to hang out and talk about TTRPGs. Second thing we're going to talk about is specifically about Transplanar RPG. So, Transplanar RPG, for those of y'all who do not know, let me enlighten you. Transplanar RPG is an all-transgender, person of color-led actual play series created by Connie Chung. Our campaigns are set in a non-colonial, anti-orientalist multiverse, and they center compelling stories about queerness, grief, and the power of love. Catch the Chaos Protocol, our second ever campaign, on Saturdays, 8 p.m. Eastern on Transplanar RPG. We'll be back this Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern. It's going to be buck wild. Connie has been alluding to some fuckery that I'm not aware of. They're just kind of like, oh, ha 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 ha, this is gonna happen. Ha 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 ha. About what? A battle in a ballroom episode? And I'm like, Connie, why are you telling them that? We're right here. Why are you telling all of them that? We're right here. What's going on? Why are we not being told? Anyway, I'm very, very excited. I can't wait. Especially since this is the midpoint episode, as we kind of venture forth into kind of like the latter half of the first arc. This is gonna be a lot of fun. Fantastic. So we talked about Transplanar RPG. Another important aspect that I wanted to talk about with Transplanar RPG is the fact that we are raising funds to get our entire 11-person cast over to Big Bad Con. Big Bad Con is a convention that's happening in San Francisco. It is a TTRPG based con. It is very, very exciting. I will be in attendance doing lots of things. But one of those things is a Transplanar live show. We're currently raising funds on Ko-Fi. I can just grab our Ko-Fi real quick. There we go. We are currently at 56% of our $5,000 goal. If y'all are able to support us, it would be greatly appreciated. A lot of our casts are traveling from pretty far away, including myself. I'll be cross continents. We do have plans to record the live show. Oh, Otso, are you not attending Big Bad Con anymore? I do believe we're looking into recording it. I don't know the full logistics of it, but I do know that it's being contemplated. Things came out, I don't have the money for it this year, unfortunately. That's a-okay, Azra. Hope to catch you next time. But I do believe that's on the cards, so don't worry. I think it's just a question of a when rather than if. I think it's just when y'all are going to be receiving that recording, because I don't really know. I don't know how to do live recording in person for big con like this. I don't know how that would look like. So I'm very excited. But yeah, whatever y'all can give to help us bring our 11-person cast would be greatly appreciated. Alrighty, gang. In that case, now that we talked about that, let's talk about the thing that we're all here for. Let's talk about the Beast Within. So, I'm releasing my first ever TTRPG called The Beast Within. And it has been successfully crowdfunded on crowdfunder.com. This game is about the players being able to play as Therianthropes who can transform into werebeasts and unleash their wrath. You can support the campaign on crowdfunder.com/thebeastwithin. It is very, very exciting. So this crowdfunder has been running an extended time for a while. We're nearing 200 days, I believe. And we're going to be ending our campaign at the end of this month. At the end of August, we'll be ending the campaign on crowdfunder. And after that, we will be opening an itch.io store for pre-orders, probably because I do not want to maintain several websites. So if there's something you'd like to grab, please go ahead and grab it on crowdfunder before the end of the month. And if you all need more convincing about supporting the Beast Within, then let me tell you more about the game. Ooh! Alrighty, folks, let's talk about the Beast Within. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the State of the Beast Within. I can't wait to talk about this. I'm so excited. But alright, so I don't really have visual aids because I feel like it'll get real confusing. But what I do want to show off a little bit is like art reveals and stuff. So just give me 2 seconds. So that, you know, Ozra has already talked about it, but I do want to showcase it a little bit. So first thing I want to chat about, hold on, let's see if my studio mode will cooperate with me. Or not. Or it could tell me to just very, very kindly go fuck myself, I guess. I guess it's telling me to very kindly go fuck myself. Which is very strange. Hold on. Give me a second. This We got 10. We're boasting 10 archetypes, and here are this is the art reveal. The art is done by the incredible @Baron on Twitter and whatever related social media exists anymore. Full name Griffin Baron Nichols, who is the artist for our beasts. And I'm so happy that we got to kind of like collab on this, because this has been a dream of the both of ours. We are both big fans of the game that kind of inspired this TTRPG, called Bloody Roar, which is a fighting game where you can play as werebeasts and you just fight. It's very, very fun. It is very, very cool. I always felt like the world of Bloody Roar was underutilized. I felt that it was always underappreciated as a video game. And now I get to kind of like take that inspiration forward and make something cool with it called The Beast Within. And I'm so happy and excited about it. But yeah, so this is the art reveal. I get to kind of show them off. He told me I do want to be a snip. Listen, being a snow leopard is really fun. You could be a palace cat if you really wanted to. Very, very fun. But yeah, so we have really, really cool artwork here. We're kind of going for a grungy look, as you can tell. But at the same time of kind of like achieving that kind of like grunge look, we wanted to keep the archetypes themselves looking distinct, and that kind of just being able to show the player the kind of characters they're able to play and the breadth in which they're able to play them, right? So yeah, that's the first thing I wanted to show off. Why are we just hearing birds? Hold on, we need music. There we go. That's better. I'm going to do late night essentials real quick. There we go. Definitely achieve very distinct and great variety. I'm glad to hear that. I wanted folks to feel that they can create all sorts of characters within the Beast Within, which is the perfect segue, I think, to us chatting about a little bit more about the Beast Within and the direction that it is going. So those are the beast archetypes. They're going fine. The beast archetypes have always kind of been the strongest part of my idea. They were kind of like the core part of my idea of creating this game. So a lot of the development for the beast archetypes are pretty straightforward. There are tiers to the abilities that you can get. And the idea is that as you advance and you level up and you develop your character, you make a choice in the way that you advance your character. You can either choose to advance the beast part of your character, or you can choose to advance your like humanoid like character stuff, right? At first, I called them humanoid archetypes because my idea was that you would have your beast form and then you'd have like your job, right? Like who you are like outside of being a beast, right? And I was kind of thinking it initially under the like admittedly in a very like almost like D&D way of like, oh, like your work, like your class. And what that has highlighted to me is that there are too many things I want represented for that to be feasible. I want this game to be a game that is easy to pick up. I want it to have just enough crunch where it feels like if you build your character right, you can really, really just knock it out of the park, right? That's the direction I want to go. I want it to be easy to pick up, easy to understand, fun to play, dynamic, things like that. And creating like extremely like crunchy classes is not what I wanted, and kind of spending so much time trying to pick like the core occupations or classes that would encompass was also a lot. It is a lot In fact, I was stumped for several weeks because I just couldn't find like the mechanics and abilities that I've created under those titles worked fine, needed slight tweaking. We kind of play tested it a little bit during the Transplanar 2-shot, as well as some smaller play tests I've had, but that still rubbed me off the wrong way. So I had a freaking epiphany a few weeks ago, where I realized actually I did not really care about the occupation. What I wanted was aspects of humanity to be represented, right? And that doesn't require occupations. In fact, that is overly prescriptive. It would make more sense to represent values instead as character archetypes. And then I just changed my entire trajectory, which is part of the reason why this game is delayed, because I decided, wait a second, no, this works way better. So we're going to, of course I knew I forgot something as soon as we get into it. Oh, my notebook is so far away. I knew I forgot something. I'm so sorry. Please ignore how messy my desk is. I have a lot of work that I have to get done. I'll clean it up today. But yeah, my hair, a little hair. There we go. This is my notebook. It says "fuck" on it. But I realized that I wanted to represent values. Now, what do I mean by that? I mean that if I want folks to be able to create things within the values that they want. So for example, we have a character archetype known as the Indomitable. And the Indomitable is an archetype that is focused on perseverance and determination. So with the idea is that within this archetype, I would have abilities that have to do with those values, about being determined and being perseverant, being able to kind of like persist in the face of adversity, be a bulwark, be a tank. But you could also, while that name and that title and the vibes give off, oh, you could be a really good tank playing this type of archetype, it will also kind of be like, oh, but I can also play a protective bulwark if I play this character. I could also play a roguish character, but the thing is that their value is that they will persist and that they're tough, right, in the face of adversity. Another character archetype that I'm actually really excited about is called the Savant. And the idea of the Savant is that this is an archetype of customization. This is the archetype about being the jack of all trades. And one of my future goals with this archetype is to be able to have an ability that lets you pick out abilities from the other ability trees. We will get to that point that I just made about ability trees in a second, but that is the idea of the Savant. I also have, ideas that are a little bit more like direct and encompass a very, very specific thing, like the esoteric, the beloved, the virtuoso, the fleet-footed, right? So these are archetypes, for example, the esoteric is about folks that are delving into the supernatural and the occult. And I'm making it general enough for you can be a medium, you could be a tarot card reader, or you could be a paranormal investigator that loves making like ghost files videos on the internet, right? It's just a vibe that you put out. It's the values that you have. For example, the beloved. The beloved is an archetype about popularity. It's about being well liked and appreciated by those around you. And my hope for this archetype is that you're going to be able to leverage those like typical high charisma, high wisdom, in terms of, we're talking D&D speak, like those kind of experiences. And I wanted to make these feel distinct yet still general enough for y'all to be able to create characters within those things. So yeah, that's the new trajectory that we have found ourselves in for this major update for the Beast Within. I am like super excited about being able to just make the first part of character gen, the part where you're making the person be more about their values and who they are, the archetype that they represent, rather than hey, this person is a doctor, which is clearly a healing stand-in, you know. And that is going to be one of the things I'm going to have to ensure in building out these characters, is ensuring that there's utility in all of them, and not just designating the same cookie cutter stuff to like, oh yeah, this is the healer. If you need one, here's a healer, you know. I'm hoping to kind of like spread it out between a few archetypes. One of the ideas being that like the beloved, which is the popular one, and like the brilliant, which is the person that has a lot of knowledge, both individually, and some I'm gonna include other archetypes, but for example, those two being able to both have their ways to like help reduce damage or help folks recover from status conditions within them. But yeah, those, I'm very, very excited about those. I'm very happy to kind of like go in this direction, and yeah, I think it's just more in line with my style of playing as a player, which makes it a lot easier for me to design as a designer, because I know what kind of game I like to play. I know what kind of game that I'd like to design after that. Amazing. So now that I've mentioned to y'all the updated kind of character archetypes. Hey, Stray Toads! Hiya! How's it going? Welcome to stream. I'm so glad you think this is sounding rad. I'm so excited. I'm very, very pleased. This is kind of like stuff that I'm really, really excited about. I'm really just chomping at the bit and stuff like that. And I'm just so excited about this. The next part of the character archetypes that I wanted to talk about is about the ability tree. So what do I mean by that? I mean that the way I'm going to make a lot of character advancement look like for the humanoid side of it is like that of an ability tree. So you'll have your base ability, the abilities after that, and then branching off. So that the idea is you can really get specialized, or you can get pretty general with it. And it is up to you. So, you know, for example, one of the character archetypes that I would like to showcase is name TBD. This is tentative name. It's called the fleet-footed. So this is kind of like taking the position of a high dexterity character, right? This is taking the part of gameplay of someone being agile, speedy, light on their feet, things like that. And in my idea, in this archetype, you could take a branch and go like the boxer route almost. Like you are there, you make quick punches, you dance around. Your whole thing is learning how to kind of like be the front line, monk style, and be able to kind of like take few hits but keep dishing them out, right? Being a kind of like lighter front line almost. But another direction that you could take in this ability tree is kind of more acrobatic. You are the kind of person that's there to like dodge things, move around, be able to cover more ground, help your allies cover more ground. Parkour, exactly. Be able to move in difficult spaces, things like that. Being able to have just like high speed in general. So like that's another direction that you could go with the fleet-footed. another like example that I could use for like the way the ability tree would separate maybe would be the beloved. So you could take this to be like, I'm just really, really popular very, very naturally and people like me, and I like, you know, use kindness, and a lot of the reason why I am the beloved is because I do all these nice things, and here are all the nice abilities that I have to make people like me. um you can also go in the direction of like a more of a socialite kind of thing. Like, I know the maneuverabilities of politics. I understand the way that power and influence moves, right? And things like, so you can be the beloved, but you can be the beloved of I'm sweet, soft cinnamon roll, but you can also be the beloved of I have dethroned greater nobilities than you, good sir, you know, and play around with that. And same thing with the esoteric, right? Which is the like supernatural, like occult enjoyer. Like, you could literally make this be someone who is, you know, inclined towards magic, who understands that there are spirits around us. You can make this person a medium, but you could literally make this person just a paranormal investigator who is like, oh hell yeah, I love ghosts. I have this big whisper machine. I'm gonna play it. It's gonna be real loud. Everyone's gonna fucking hate me because this is so loud and annoying. And I'm going to listen out and hear what the spirits want to tell me. But it could also be darker, right? It could also be like, hi, I have dabbled in dark, foul magics that you cannot even fathom. And it'll be fun. It's a Val, it's a me. Hi, Mare. How's it going? We're talking about the beast within. We're talking about progress that I'm finally making in months. You can be an edgy edgester. I am currently developing the Wily, which is leaning towards like deceitful tactics, which I think would be perfect if you want to run like a rogue archetype, like your typical rogue archetype. The Wily is going to be kind of like the there's going to be a few branches. One of the branches is going to be like more practical skills of like being like subtle fingers, being able to kind of like stealth, things like that. But also is going to be like social sided, where, oh, I delve more into lying and cheating and things like that. That way I feel like I can encapsulate more of the roguish archetype rather than beef. Like, you can be, but you can also be like the dealer at the poker table who slips cards really, really well, or is very, very good in your social skills, the way with your poker face that you're able to deceive, right? You could be a smuggler, right, who is able to kind of like forge documents, but also knows how to maneuver around like smuggling rings in the underground really, really well, which usually requires a lot of like in my mind, a lot of charisma, right? You gotta be frightening to be able to pull off being a really, really good smuggler and to be well known and to let people know to not fuck around with your business. So that's what I mean. I will always need playtesters, Mayor. I'm looking at the next. I literally run like small playtests. I've been running like small playtesting things with Max so far, but we're gonna start opening up now that I'm writing out character archetypes, and I'm no longer stunned into like. Y'all have no idea the hole I was digging myself in the earlier iteration of these character archetypes. The whole, I was digging such a deep hole design wise that I was like, this hurts so much to write. And that's when you know that you're making a mistake, right? As a designer, is when it feels like a slog for you to write. Like, obviously it's going to be difficult, but for it to kind of be like a huge struggle bus, it shouldn't be that way, right? You should be able to at least sort of enjoy, because like it's still difficult for me to come up with like branches for these abilities, but it's more enjoyable now because now I can like look at it and maneuver about it through a lens of curiosity rather than a lens of like, oh my god, it's taking so long to write this goddamn game, you know. My AP schedule is finally almost done. Hit me up if you want to open up more playtests. I will. I definitely will. I also need to message the folks that backed the Kickstarter under the Aeon rewards and be like, hey, would you rather your game be a playtest or do you want it to be like fully fledged? If it's playtest, you can play it early. If it's not, then you'll just have to wait until it's in a much better place before we can play it. But just know I haven't forgotten you all, you know? I'll send that email soon. But yeah, I'm always looking for playtesters. I will be reaching out to y'all, like the pals, and be like, which one of you motherfuckers want to playtest this? Playtesting is a skill I do not have. Fun fact, Azra, playing a game as just a normal player is a playtesting. That, like, obviously you can develop a skill and an eye for playtesting. Okay, I will lurk for now. All right, Mare, love you. Have a great day. You have my Discord log whenever you're ready. I will, trust me. I definitely will. Once I get these character archetypes solid, at least like maybe 2 or 3 of them, I'd like to test them out. But thank you. But yeah, like in terms of like playtesting, the whole point of playtesting is I'm not playing like designers are trying to like showcase the game to ordinary folks who are players who just want to play, and we just kind of like watch you play and observe how you get along, and then we get feedback, right? So obviously over time as a playtester you could like develop an eye for like, oh, this feels like, I wonder if you should like pay attention to this and be very, very specific with it. But in general, just playing, and even the fact of you going, hey, combat took a long time and that was kind of a lot, is feedback. Even you as a normal player just being like, yeah, I kind of just felt really overwhelmed with this part of gameplay. I can't tell you why, but it felt overwhelming. That says a lot. You being able to say this aspect of this game is a lot of fun is feedback. So if you ever want to like open yourself up to those opportunities, you absolutely should, and I highly recommend it, Azra. I used to playtest video games. And it started off with like very, very basic games, and then I developed an eye for like what game designers were looking for in their playtesting. That was a long time ago. Long time ago. In that case, I would definitely be interested in playtesting this if you have some time. I'll try and keep an eye on your Discord. Yes, please keep an eye on Discord, because other than the State of the Beast Within stuff, what I will be doing is sign-up sheets for playtesting. I was literally yesterday. Sorry, time is soup. Yes, yesterday. I was working on so many things. But one of the things I was working towards was trying to build a like rolling basis Google form where I could take signups and see everyone's availability. And I'm gonna need to like talk to Dax about this, because Dax found a way to like link sheets to like Google Sheets to Google Forms, but being able to kind of like link them, put them in categories so I can see what days and times folks are available for, group y'all together, and then do playtesting. That way we can just cut off like a huge part of like organizing this, which is just finding like time for y'all to do it. That's one method I'm thinking of doing. The other method I was thinking of doing is literally being like, hi, I want to play test it this week at these times, who is available, and then try and play test things. So yeah, keep an eye on Discord, y'all. If y'all are interested in this, please keep an eye on the Discord. But yeah, I'm so happy with these abilities. Like I'm so legitimately excited about some of the abilities that we've got. which is the perfect segue for us to talk about abilities in a hot second. Just opening while that's loading and opening up. But yeah, so we're gonna have ability trees. We're gonna make these feel general, yet with the ability to be specialized enough, which I'm very excited for. Very, very excited for. Alrighty, gang, we're about 49 minutes in. I need to take a quick bio break. Get semi out for my mullet. And it's in this very, very interesting in-between stage where like parts of it are longer than some of the other parts of it. I can't wait for this haircut. But yeah. Oh, so I'm wearing a Phantom of the Opera t-shirt that I got from the West End. So, in case y'all were wondering what I was wearing, I'm being a musical theater nerd again. Who is surprised at this point? But hello, welcome back, friends. Welcome back. It is so lovely to see all your faces back here in the chat. We're going to, I'm going to remember where I last left off. Ah, I remember now. We're gonna chat about specifically, well, not that shot. Let me tell you. So, okay, let's talk about Big Bad Con first, really quick, actually, before we talk more mechanics. So I'll be attending Big Bad Con. I saved some money to make some bookings, and successful in getting stuff booked. But I'm also volunteering several hours for Big Bad Con. And one of the devastating points about that, about like volunteering, is that the time slot in which I'm volunteering for means that I will miss Nate's game, the musical theater game, that they're running. And I am devastated. I was so upset. I looked at my schedule for volunteering and I was like, no, I'm missing at the game. It's a Stray Toads. You gotta come for the Beast Within game that I'll be running so that we can actually hang out. And there's gonna be plenty of opportunities, but I'm just saying that I'm emotionally devastated. But I am volunteering as a panel room host, so I'll be doing a lot of kind of like wrangling cats in one of the panel rooms, which also means I'll be watching a lot of panels for like 5 hours straight, which I think is great. That particular day is going to be hectic for me because I've got the volunteering in the daytime, then I've got lunch that I gotta do because lunch is important, and then I'll be running games from 2 to 6, and then after 6 is the POC dinner. So that day's gonna be a long day for me, but I'm very excited nonetheless. But speaking of, I am running a game, an optional 2 games really, for games on demand as part of my volunteering. I'm a volunteer GM, and if folks are interested, I will have a menu of 2 different games that y'all can partake in. One of those games is The Beast Within. You can come on and help me playtest some aspects of The Beast Within. I'll be making pre-generated character sheets. They're very, very base character sheets. And the premise of the game is, well, the game is called The Rise of Rahu. The premise of it is, well, werebeast versus kaiju. You will be playing werebeast protectors of a city currently about to be attacked by a kaiju. You must gather appropriate intel information and find a way to defeat this beast, or send it back home somehow before it attacks your city. So that is our kaiju game. And then if y'all don't want to play The Beast Within, y'all prefer a more established RPG, I'll be running Cypher. I'll be basically running a space horror game, space spooks game, basically the adventure I wrote for that one charity stream that I was a part of, about the desert, basically Treasure Planet but spookier. That'll be another game that I'll be running, so y'all can choose one of those vibes in which to play into. and that's something that interests you, you should come and check me out at Big Bad Con. I'm also doing a bunch of other things during Big Bad Con. I'll be there for a Transplanar live show, which is very, very exciting. I can't wait for that. I believe that is happening on the Saturday. I believe it's on the Saturday. I'll go and check. Now that I'm thinking about it, I should probably check. Another thing that I'm going to be a part of is I'll be on a panel with Quinn and Dare, and I believe Rue is going to be on it as well, a bunch of other folks, and we're going to be talking about queer joy in TTRPGs, like radical queer joy, which I'm super excited about. I'm so glad that Quinn asked me to panel with them. I'm incredibly excited for it, and that is happening. I don't know why my British accent is coming out today. Let me see. Control F. Reflections. That is happening October 1st at 2 p.m. And the Transplanar show. Oh, it's because it's not set to social events. Because for some reason, live show is set as a social event. September 30th. Which I believe actually is 30th is a Saturday. Yeah. Amazing. Close that out. But yeah. Sounds like an awesome panel. I'm very, very excited about it. It's nice to be in a bunch of things coming up in Big Bad Con. I'm just so excited. I also made business cards yesterday. I spent several hours trying to make business cards yesterday. I need you all to know. Hold on. So I'm just replying to a message. I can imagine that was rough. I forgot. Oh yeah, we're talking about business cards. It was. As someone who is not a trained graphic designer, it was hell for me. Mostly because Vistaprint, while it kind of like streamlines and has a bunch of things on its site that's pretty easy, a lot of the stuff that they did have were very, very cookie cutter things. Which isn't what I'm trying to do at a TTRPG convention. You know what I mean? I'm like, I'm going to a convention with a bunch of nerds, right? I can't bring like a Sarah's Bakery-esque like business card to a convention like that. Like a bunch of these folks are gonna have like really colorful business cards, or business cards with like really nice headshots. I gotta show up with something nice, right? So I spent several hours working on designs. I had a couple of friends help me, and then later that night, my boyfriend was waking up because it was morning for Americans, and I was like, I've been working on these all day. I made these drafts. Are these anything? And he just looked at me. He goes, yeah, your earlier draft was better. And I was like, oh my god, I have to go back and put it all into Vistaprint. And he was like, oh, I'm pretty sure Canva has printing. And I'm like, does it? And then I found out that Canva has printing. And then he so very, very generously was like, hey, let me help adjust some of these things for you. And this time it actually was an adjustment. It wasn't him just redesigning the whole thing. He was just like, I like this, like this. I think you need a better layout. So he got a better layout for me. I think this was a good idea. We're gonna make it look a little nicer. And now I will, literally after the stream, I'll probably go and purchase those business cards. And I'm so excited to purchase those business cards and have them ready for Big Bad Con so I can network. Networking! Anyways. Anyways, let's talk about why we're here, and that is because of the Beast Within. So, one of the things I wanted to talk about here on the Beast Within... Thank you, Oscar, I appreciate it. Oh, I want to talk to y'all... We talked about some of the archetypes. Networking is hard. Best of luck. It is hard. And I haven't done it in a while. So we're gonna do our best and hope that means something. Right. We talked about some of the character archetypes. I did want to sneak peek some abilities that I have written for these things. I'm trying to pick the ones that I'd like to talk about. I mentioned what I want the savant abilities to have is one of the things I'd like the savant to have in the future is the ability to take abilities from other ability trees. I think it's really, really fun. I think that's very, very cool. I just need to figure out a way of the language in which to kind of like communicate how to do that. In the Indomitable, I have an ability that I'm trying to decide if I want to give it to the Savant or to the Indomitable, and it is the ability to gain an additional wrath point whenever you fail. I'm leaning towards the Indomitable because that's the whole thing, is being able to persevere in the face of failure. Whereas the Savant is supposed to kind of just be like, hey, you're good at things. Let's reduce the likelihood of you failing. One of the abilities I do want to give either one of these archetypes is the ability to gain an additional wrath point should you fail. And another ability that I am planning for the Indomitable is, I haven't named it yet, but basically when you're dealt a blow, you can choose to harden your resolve and intimidate your opponent. And upon a success, the target is under the threatened condition. So we'll talk about status conditions in a second. But I was just thinking about how very few games let you take an L and turn it into like a semi okay thing, you know? Cause I'm just thinking about all those movies, you know, with like Arnold Schwarzenegger or like you know, Blade and things like that, where like someone takes like a big plank and like it hits them over the head with it, and it just like shatters on top of their head. Like they obviously take the hit and they take the damage, but they just slightly pivot towards the camera, you know, and they just glare right at the camera, and you know, the person who did that is like shit scared. I just think that's really cool, and that should be an ability, and more things need to have that ability. Because that's stuff I want to do all the time as a player, but I never get to do. So that's an ability, and I came up with a threatened condition inspired by Final Fantasy X. There's an ability in Final Fantasy X called Threaten. Literally only one character has it, and it's Auron. And basically it kind of like prevents an attacker from attacking you for a turn, I believe. I'm probably going to expand on that a little bit more, but I'm going to do something similar of like making it difficult for the attacker to want to attack after that. I'm just going to find the appropriate language to do so. All right, we talked about a couple abilities there. Let me find another ability. There we go. So one of the abilities I want to give the Beloved is called Saving Face. So this is, as the Beloved, you are able to salvage a social fumble with your words and social delicacy. Treat failures as conflicts and conflicts as successes. Is how I'm going to do that. I might limit that a bit more. I might do like a Saving Face, which is treat failures as conflicts, or maybe treat conflicts as successes, and then later on be like maybe an improved saving face where you're able to treat failures as conflicts. We'll see how play testing shakes out. And yeah, so that's saving face. I'm gonna give another ability. All right, so let me talk about another ability for the fleet-footed. One of the abilities I want the fleet-footed to have is, haven't named it yet, but it's called, what it does is when you get into melee and you enter into combat, you're agile and light on your feet. When you succeed on an attack, you can choose to either reposition around your opponent or attempt another hit. You can make a roll, and on a success, you're able to reposition or land another hit. On a failure, your opponent may retaliate. So that's the ability. It's going to be really, really fun. I might not make it a roll. I might just, again, kind of similar to Saving Face, where I make it like you're allowed to reposition, and then in the future you can get another hit in. Yeah, and do it that way. Wahoo! Alrighty, so those are some of the abilities that I'm going to have the character archetypes kind of like embody, some little bit of flavor for y'all to chew on. If you're looking for a name for that ability, something like Flourish would be neat. Ooh, thank you for that. I will make a note on that, Flourish. That is a very neat name. Just going to, where are you? Sometimes you forget that words exist, and knowing that a word like Flourish exists is wonderful. But yeah, that is some of the abilities I wanted to chat about. One of the things I want to chat about now is status conditions, because we do have them and we're trying to expand them. So some of the lists that I'm pretty certain we want to have are bewildered, staggered, restrained, threatened, downed, and knocked out. So that's 6 altogether. Let me tell y'all, I don't have the full mechanics written out here on my notebook quite yet. I'm still kind of also figuring out the mechanics. Here's another thing about game design, in case y'all hadn't realized this. I feel like I have to like make several things in succession, because I can only make more abilities if I also develop the combat. I also can only develop more combat when I have more abilities. So this is a fun time for me. Anyway, let's talk about status conditions. Bewildered is a status condition that I want to function similar to like confusion, but instead of it kind of like functioning like Pokemon confusion, where you like hit yourself, let's not even touch that. I kind of wanted to kind of just be like someone who has kind of like been, not ambushed, but like, knocked on their ass a little bit and just is trying to take a moment to like recalibrate. That's what bewildered is. We have staggered. So staggered was born out of like me playing a lot of Final Fantasy games, also playing a lot of fighting games. And a lot of cool things that fighting games have is that when you're real good, when you hit real good, you can stagger your opponent and come up with combos. So what the whole vibe of the stagger condition is that this is when the opponent has been weakened or left in a vulnerable position after the attacks. So you could potentially set up your teammates for this or set yourself up for a combo move. This is why I regularly think of words and consult the thesaurus for synonyms. The cycles of vicious. Oh my god, yeah. Then we have restrained. The name kind of already tells you what's happening. It is when a opponent is bound, held down, or restricted in their movement. We have downed, which is when someone is on their ass. They've been knocked onto the ground, kind of similar to being knocked prone. And then we have knocked out. This is when a character has lost its damage tracks and you are unconscious. I have a very similar philosophy to character death as the Wild Sea, in the sense that when you are ready to die, and when you and your teammates and table friends and your GMs have decided when you're going to die, that will be when you die. I don't want to write death into it, but you could have a rule, and I will put like an alt rule of like, if you do want death to occur at this point, then you can. This is the ruling. But I highly encourage that folks consider the narrative sort of aspect of the game before deciding that. And then we have threatened. Threatened is a new one I came up with a couple weeks ago. So I haven't fully like thought it out yet, but the idea is being able to kind of like leverage your intimidation skills, your hardiness to be able to kind of like stare down an opponent. and have them kind of like doubt. Because in actual combat, even a split second to doubt can be deadly, can be extremely deadly. So that is kind of like the aspect that I wanted to play into, is that like this bewilderment, it functions similarly to bewilderment, except that I would say that bewilderment is probably mechanically going to be a bit more devastating than threatened. I think threatened is kind of like more of like a disadvantage sort of situation, or like at most like a 1 round thing that they can't do anything. Whereas bewildered is kind of like, I hope you can recover quick, friend. So, yep. That is status conditions. Yeah. Do folks have any questions about the Beast Within while I check through my notes to see if there's anything else I wanted to update y'all on? I think it's just the Beast archetypes, but the Beast archetypes of the Spirit Gauge, I think, is the only things that I wanted to chat about after this. But yeah, tell me about your thoughts. Thoughts, feelings, excitement, comments, concerns. See if I can address them, or even take your suggestions into account. This whole thing just makes me want to collab more and find people to brainstorm and talk out ideas, because it's just so fun to do. Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah, maybe that's something I could facilitate, because I'm always looking to have more, like, co-working spaces in general. Maybe that's something I can do. Because like it doesn't have, because I think based on what you're chatting about, you mean like being able to just have that space to kind of have like creative soundboards and just to chat, maybe co-work. Because that's something I've been missing as well, is that like now that I'm based in Malaysia, time zone wise, I miss out on a lot of things. And a lot of my friends are like co-working and hanging out and having a good time are, you know, they're already done doing a lot of things. And when I start my day, a lot of y'all are winding down for bed, right? So. Because one of the things I wanted to do with my Discord was like a mentor-mentee thing, kind of like a way to kind of... But I think really what I wanted to do in designing that was kind of facilitate more discussion and facilitate kind of a lot more like community. So maybe that's something I can do. I'm loving the variety of this. It sounds like you have a solid base of options for things. I'm curious about the direction of quality versus quantity of abilities and such. I don't think there's going to be a ton. Because, one, this is the first edition of the game. And a philosophy I'm trying to have while designing this that really held me back is do not let perfect get in the way of good. Because that was what I was struggling with the character archetypes, was that I was trying to encompass every single style and every aspect of like, you know, typical like character classes and like playing styles into a game. And for me, I was just kind of like, oh god, I was literally put in like decision-making paralysis for so long, because I just didn't know how to even start writing, because before I could even start, I've already talked myself out of three things, right? And it took a while for me to kind of just like let that go and be like, actually no, this is a direction I prefer, which is the character archetypes, the values system that I've decided that I'm going in the direction of. One, because it feels general enough, and I think it's more fertile ground for me to like plant ideas and watch them flourish. I don't think it's going to be a ton, because so far my idea is to have 5 tiers for the werebeasts. So I don't see this having too many. And I think I'm gonna be okay with that, because this is not going to be the end of the Beast Within. Like, me publishing this first edition of the Beast Within is not going to be the end all be all. I want this game to be a printed game, a printed RPG one day. I want it to be published, properly published. I say properly, self-published is also as valid. But I would like to have like a printed run with a publishing company in the future. You know, because my big dream is to be able to have the Beast Within be you know, a good system that can like rival some of these other like systems out there, and kind of do the thing that WildSea did, right? Like this small indie kind of game that was born out of like a real deep-seated passion that gets into the hands of players and it just feels good to play. Like I want the experience for the Beast Within one day to be like someone gets a hard-bound like hardback copy of the Beast Within, they open it up and they just go, holy shit, this book is great, holy shit, this writing is cool, like, oh, these characters are so cool, oh, I can't wait to play. And then when they play it, they go, oh my god, I love playing this. That's my dream. And part of me wanting that dream required me to kind of go, okay, this first edition is not going to be that, because this is my first TTRPG that I'm designing from scratch. This is not me writing for an established system. This is not me writing lore. This is me writing a brand new system from the ground up. And I'm treating it as such. And I'm trying to like remind myself that it being limited is okay. Because then in the future, you know, in the next few months after I take a break from writing this game, is that I say that, but I know as soon as I get this out, I'm probably gonna be like, ooh, but what about this supplement? So we're gonna be working on that. And yeah, but that's the thing I want to do with this game, right? Even with this first edition, it's not gonna be the end, because I will want to write supplements while I get it, you know, nice and ready for like publishers, and pitching it to publishers and pitching it to like game designers, and trying to collab. I'm so glad you're resonating with a lot of this, Azra. Good. I wanted to get a feel on scope and find the right scope is so hard to do. Have to not overreach right off the bat. Yeah, I totally feel that, because that's my baseline as a person. I always believe that, like, it's really weird because I have such a deep-seated desire to be the best and be really good and put all my heart and soul into things. And at the same time, I have a very deep anxiety and, imposter syndrome constantly. So it is something that I'm constantly learning. Having my partner, who is also my soundboard, also my artist on this project, has been really, really helpful, because he's kind of been that voice in my ear that's telling me, this is your first game, like, take it easy on yourself. You're not gonna be crafting D&D 5e from the ground up by your fucking self, right? Like, and he's been very, very helpful in reminding me of this. Like, I am the only writer and designer on this game, and I've always had to keep reminding myself of that. I am quite literally the only writer and designer of this game. And a lot of the stuff that I am doing is a lot, because this isn't a hack of another system. I'm building a brand new system using an overlooked die, which is the D12s. There isn't a lot of stuff out there written out for writing out a D12 system. And I'm including a wrath mechanic, and I'm including a gauge mechanic, and I want an ability tree for my character archetypes, and I want werebeasts, and I want you to be able to advance through character gen by choosing which ones you want to level up. You know? Like that is a lot I am trying to do before the end of the year, right? Like I started this project what, like March, February, March. Like I'm having Max kind of sit there with me and be like, my love, you are quite literally building a whole ass system from the ground up by your fucking self. I feel that because I scoped huge on my own TTRPG project, bounced around so many mechanical ideas, had to stop myself because I was overreaching too much. Yeah, it's hard. I've been there. I'm still there. With every single thing that I'm designing with the Beast Within. I think my goal overall, to kind of like answer your question, like I think my goal overall is to have like, I think it's quite literally to be like, okay, I want this game to be easy to pick up. I want it to be broad enough to play styles, and I want it to feel good when people are playing it. That's it. It doesn't have to be perfect. I don't think I can encapsulate all the play styles. I think we are probably going to start with a limited number of the character archetypes. If anything, just so that I can come up with more later on, just so I have more time to come up with better ones in the future. And giving myself that grace of like, you can add supplements, you can add literal, like, you can add patch notes, because that's one criticism I've seen of like indie published TTRPGs is that like there isn't enough kind of like patch notes and updates and supplements and stuff like that. And I'm like, you know what, that's gonna be something I'm gonna make sure to do with the Beast with it, is that I'm going to do supplements, and I'm gonna write extra lore, right? I'm gonna write extra lore, I'm gonna write extra adventures, I'm gonna write more like monster stat blocks. I could even literally make it like a Ko-fi thing where I'm like, I made this funny little monster one day on stream, y'all want it? $5, here you go, like enjoy. It's on itch as well, I guess, like have fun. So it's been a lot of fun. If you do need another sounding board, someone to co-work sometime Beast with that, I'd be more than happy to talk about it with you and just talk shot one designer to another. Fuck yeah. You know what? I think I'm gonna do that thing about having a little like set time where I just hang out on the Discord and co-work and see if anyone shows up. I think that'd be fun. Hi, Derek, Chris, and Spears. How y'all doing? Welcome to stream. Welcome to State of the Beast Within. We just chatted about a bunch of things, but let me recap for you. We just covered the brand new direction we're going with the character archetypes. This is the humanoid portion of character design instead of encompassing every single... S Mercury 44, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to stream. Nice to see you. Welcome to the State of the Beast Within. Let's do a little dance. Welcome. You came at the perfect time as I'm recapping to a bunch of folks here about the State of the Beast Within, talking about the update to my first ever TTRPG. Since you're new here, I'm going to put my promo out. I'm releasing my first ever TTRPG this year. It's called, well, not this, well, I'm hoping to at least have a quick start guide by the time December rolls around. So my first ever TTRPG is called The Beast Within. We're running on extended time on Crowdfunder. And the game is about folks being able to play as werebeasts and unleashing their wrath. You'll get there one step at a time. Exactly. I want the quick start guide, at least for the backers, right? But yeah, so what I'm doing is this monthly show called The State of the Beast Within, where I chat about development, how it's going, accountability, showing y'all that I'm making progress with this game, and the ideas that have bounced around my little head. And yeah, if you want to support the Beast Within, we're running this campaign until the end of the month because I cannot be managing yet another website. So we'll be ending the campaign at the end of August, and then it'll be a few weeks before we open a pre-order itch store. And yeah, that's the Beast Within. I think I missed Derek's message. I'm doing good, just finished editing some stuff. Ooh, I hope you were productive and got a lot done. So just to recap what we covered, I'm taking a new direction with the character gen. So at first, I had the idea of character gen for a humanoid archetype and a beast archetype. The beast archetype is staying. Basically, there are 10 types of werebeasts, and those are the beast archetypes that you will play as. The first part of the character gen, I am changing. I've updated to a different approach altogether. At first, I was kind of thinking in a very D&D 5e restrictive way, where I had to come up with like occupations for these games and for these archetypes. And then I decided that that's a little too hard and a little bit too prescriptive. So I'm leaning towards values and archetypes. So for example, I have archetype ideas like the savant, which is an archetype about being able to be a jack of all trades. The indomitable, which is about being determined and focused on perseverance, being tough and hardy. I also have, archetypes like the beloved, which is folks that are popular, well loved, and liked. Esoteric, an archetype that's about being really, really into occult and supernatural things. And the idea of them being really, really broad allows me to kind of like make an ability tree so folks can specialize which direction they want to go with. So for example, if you wanted to be an esoteric, you could be, I literally commune with the spirits. Or you could be, I'm a paranormal investigator, I've got this loud ass machine, and I'm gonna talk to ghosts. Which are two completely different vibes, right? But being able to encapsulate that into one archetype. So that's about what you missed. We talked about that. We also talked about some of the abilities some of these archetypes have. And we also talked about the status conditions that we have. We got a few. I'll name a few of them. So there's bewildered, staggered, threatened, restrained, downed, and knocked out. And that is pretty much what you missed. That's a very TLDR of what you missed with this. Hello, Mel. How's it going? Welcome. Long time no see. How's it going, pal? Welcome to the stream. We're just talking about the state of the beast within. If folks have questions, feel free to pop it into chat while I get some my notes up for the other stuff that I wanted to chat about. I wanted to chat about a few things and I forgot. Yes, I wanted to talk about some of the abilities we have for the beast archetypes. So let me pull that up really quick. But if folks have any questions about the beast within, or things that I have updated for the beast within, please let me know while I pull this up. I'm gonna hydrate as well because I'm thirsty. It's 2 a.m. and getting all details ready for tomorrow's session. Love getting back to DMing. Very exciting. I'm wishing you all the luck. I hope you have fun. I hope you have so much fun. And I'm so excited for you. I'm so freaking excited for you. Yeah, this is the bit I wanted to talk about. Well, one of the things I wanted to talk about is the spirit gauge. So y'all might be wondering, what the fuck are you talking about, Val? Those of y'all who were here in the early streams of me chatting about the Beast Within and a lot of my concepts for this game would know that this game is inspired by an obscure furry game, fighting game called the Bloody Roar. And one of the things that Bloody Roar has is like a little gauge at the bottom, which fuels a lot of like your special attacks, right? What I'm using Spirit as a gauge is to indicate how often you can shift. And your gauge can be determined. It's basically determined by the beast archetype. So, well, I say that, but all the beast archetypes at this point have the same number of spirit
It depends what level you are, basically, and how much spirit you get. But the thing that I'm going to lean towards with the spirit gauge is that I'm going to allow, like, spirit is going to be something that you can expend whether you're in beast form or not. So there's going to be some abilities as a humanoid that in your character archetype when you're not transformed, that you can use spirit to be able to unleash and use. So that is a thing that I'm working on. So that's spirit gauge. What's been the biggest struggle so far? What's been the easiest thing to make? The biggest struggle has been the character archetypes. I'm gonna tell you that straight up. Months of, when I tell y'all that this is an overhaul, I fucking mean it. Like, when I had them as like humanoid archetypes, I was thinking about it through like a very, very class lens. I was losing my goddamn mind every single day, to the point where I would go days not writing, which is not great, right? Because I would literally be like, oh god, if I have to sit and write, I obviously have to write about this, and I hate writing about this. And that's an indication that what you're writing is maybe bad and maybe not fun, right? If the own writer fucking hates writing it, that's when you know it's bad, right? So that was the hardest bit, because it didn't feel right for the longest time, and it took a long time for me to find something that felt right. And that's been really, really difficult, especially with like the pressure of, making sure that everyone in the backers knows that I'm not just fucking off with your money. Your money has been invested into the game and into paying people to develop this game, right? And when I finally found the like character archetypes and moving more in like values and principles direction, I'm like, praise be, thank God. One of my players killed the other's son and the party doesn't know it yet. Obligatory spice I'm required to share. That is spicy. Let us know how that goes. I'll be looking forward to hearing how that goes. But yeah, that's been the hardest part. That's been truly, truly the hardest part. And in general, kind of like balancing what to develop and what to like stop developing and kind of just keep moving. The easiest, I think the easiest thing that I've written so far for this system might be the wrath. Like, I think the wrath mechanic has been very, very easy, because I think it's just so intuitive. So for those of you who do not know, wrath is not a unique mechanic by any means. There are a few other systems that have similar vibes to it. I believe Kids on Bikes has a similar mechanic. Monster Hearts does as well, about having an expendable resource to use to fuel narrative boons. So basically the way wrath functions in the Beast Within is whenever you fail, you gain wrath. You gain a point of wrath. And you can use this wrath pool to expend to fuel narrative boons, narrative or mechanical boons. So for example, let me actually bring it up on Canva really quick, because I actually have a page that I drafted for this. 2 seconds. But that has been the easiest to write, I think. It was in fact one of the first few things I wrote for the game very early, before I even like came up with the beast archetypes. I wrote about wrath. Let me put this into there we go. And studio mode, windowed. Okay, no, we're fine. We don't need studio mode. And all right, so this is my wrath page. This is not indicative of final release. This is, as you can see, this still has an old sketch of one of the artwork. But basically, it allows you to gain resources in face of failure, right? You can accumulate points. The only thing about Wrath is the only like big rule is that you gotta use it up before the end of session. And the reason why I say this is because I want people to use them. I don't want people to hoard those points. You will have more of those points because there are times in the future where you will fail. But you can choose to use Wrath. But yeah, so whenever you fail, you can, to overcome your adversity, you get a point in your Wrath pool. So please use them. So some of the things you can get is like you can gain advantage, you can impose disadvantage. Again, I might shift and change this. Recover part of your spirit pool, impose status condition, auto crit, or fully recover your spirit gauge. Here, for narrative boons, you can gain it to gain a minor boon. This is a discussion that you probably have with your GM. Instinctual insight, save face, which is being able to kind of like salvage a failed roll. Hidden skill, major boon, and Carpe Diem, where you seize narrative control. Have you been playtesting? I have. I playtested it the first time during the Transplanar 2-shot months back, which kind of shifted a lot of the game after that playtest. And I've been sort of minutely playtesting it with like different aspects of the game, like rolling and stuff with my partner, just so I could make progress. But I will be continuing to playtest it. If that is something y'all are interested in, y'all should hop onto my Discord. Because I literally was working on this the other day, where I'm working on sign-up sheets to get folks into playtesting. And I'm also in a playtesting group that a really cool game designer based in Malaysia started. And I'm just deciding what part of the game that I want to playtest soon for the next run. The next thing, probably the next playtest is probably going to be my in-person game during Big Bad Con. Just because it's only a handful of weeks and I've got so much to write before then. So I won't be able to do another playtest before then. But yeah, so the next, it's going to be several weeks. So the next playtest is probably going to be during Big Bad Con, during my in-person game that I'm running, if folks decide that they want to play it. But yeah, welcome. But thank you for that question. That is a very, very good question about what is easy and what is hard to write. In general, a lot of like the flavor text has been very easy to write. A lot of the mechanical stuff has been challenging, mostly because I'm literally building a system from the ground up. One of my friends was asking me the other day what I was gonna name this system, and I just looked at them and I was just like, I don't fucking know. I'll figure it out. But yeah, naming things is hard. Trust me. I've been trying to name abilities all week. And I've been like, God, naming things is so hard. But that is A-okay. We are making it work. This is my notebook. My game design notebook. But yeah, do folks have any other questions? Naming, the pain of all creations. Exactly. Like, even, so I'm running, potentially, if people want that game, I'll be running a game of either The Beast Within or Cypher. And the Beast Within game is werebeast versus kaiju. That's the vibe of the game. Your werebeast protectors of a city, and an ancient kaiju has awakened and is threatening it, right? And I was sitting there being like, well, now that I've written this, I need to name the kaiju. Congratulations, Val. You've walked into your own goddamn trap of having to name a thing. You have to name this kaiju, because this kaiju is now canon in your lore. It's time to name it, because you're pitching this game. And I had to like do so much research. And I ended up naming it Rahu. And the game is called The Rise of Rahu, which is very, very fun and exciting. But yeah, do folks have any other questions? I'm going to talk about... Now, we talked about the spirit gauge. Oh yes, I was going to talk about some of the abilities that we have for the beast archetypes. So let me just grab my notes on that. If folks have any questions while I'm pulling this up, feel free to let me know. Trans rights! I need to update that because I used to have my little flag, but I lost my flag in the move. So I don't have that anymore. So instead, I'm going to say trans rights, motherfuckers. Trans rights are human rights. We've always been here. And if you're trans, I love you very, very much. Don't even think of questions as Brain 404. So you're so valid, Azra. Don't even worry about it. Don't you even worry about it. I need to update the channel point thing. But yeah. That is, let's talk about some abilities. So, as I mentioned before, we have 10 beast archetypes, right? And they're pretty general, mostly covering the general family of animals, so that way folks can, if folks want to be a secretary bird, I'm not going to tell them no. So you got 10 archetypes, and the way that I'm doing for each tier, which might change, is I'm adding multiple abilities into one tier, thereby making the advancement of the werebeast probably a lot harder than it is to advance your humanoid counterpart. We'll see. But some abilities that I have, let's talk about the were dogs, the werewolves. Basically the were canines of this game. We got a few abilities. One of them is Pack Solidarity. This is an ability where if your ally needs to make a roll, you stand with them and you provide. I'm either gonna give them a plus number or an advantage. We are currently playtesting. Maybe that could be the next thing to playtest. Is just some of these animal abilities to see how that pans out. The next ability is Discerning Scent. This is when you're making checks related to scent. You can add a +1 to the roll. And then we have Terran Toss, which is a fun ability inspired by Bloody Roar. It is when you successfully hit a target, you can choose to grip them and toss them away from you. In order to do that, you can make a strength roll, and then if you succeed, you toss the character away. But yeah, on a failure, your opponent may retaliate. So that's a fun little ability that we got here. So starting with 10 werebeasts, how many more are you thinking of in making supplements? Ooh, very good question. Weresharks? Weresharks is something I would love to have in a supplement. I'd love to do like an aquatic I kind of want to do like, when I do supplements, I want to make them themed. I want them to be like getting a brand new booster pack and like trading cards, you know? Like I wanted to feel like, oh my goodness, this new edition of this trading card game that I'm a part of has made this new release. I gotta buy these booster packs, right? So like I would love to do like an aquatic supplement in the future, which is like we're sharks, we're eels, you know, like we're squid or like octopi, things like that, right? And then I could do like a like forest themed one where I can have like weird deers, which will probably be called servants. The servants. Yeah, and like some other like animals. I could have like badgers or something like that in there. But yeah, that's kind of like my in terms of like beast archetypes. I'm probably going to do like theme supplements, and if there are any like in my future ideas are also kind of like either making channel points or like goals, whether that's like tip based or whatever, where if we hit the goal, I make a particular weird werebeast. Jurassic supplement. Oh, that's a really cool idea actually. Dinosaurs. That'd be kind of fun actually. And even just in general, like maybe going to like old animals as well, right? Like mammoth, mammoth, whale dog. Well, the supplements am I thinking of? Big dream. I genuinely think I might have to also crowdfund this supplement because it will be very, very expensive. It's not going to be as direct as werebeast supplement, like just adding archetypes. I really want to make an adversary compendium, basically a monster manual, but it is the adversaries. So if those of y'all who check out my crowdfunder, I did allude to it there. I actually have a good name for it. I just need to find it. Where's my name? There we go. Anthology of adversaries. That is one thing that I want to have, is an anthology of adversaries. So it's kind of like a monster manual, but it is like just a bunch of enemies. And it's not just like beasts that you can fight, it's also like different like enemy NPCs and like different I'm not gonna like write it like the monster manual. Like that's just like, here's lore and here's the stat block. I'm gonna give y'all like, this is an kind of similar to Silent Streets of Invisible Sun, which does have stat blocks in it, does have enemies in it, but it also has a lot of lore in it. So I could literally be like, hi, if you're running this genre, here's some enemies to think about. If you're doing this genre, here's some enemies to think about. And it's just like an anthology of different adversaries that you can have. That's one supplement I want. I do want to have supplements of adventures. And in writing adventures, I'm genuinely... The adventures and the anthology of adversaries are going to be collaborations. That's another thing that I really want to do, is that I will crowdfund them, but also will probably be recruiting writers to write them. And when I recruit them, I'm going to be like, hi, I will pay you for this. This is the rate that I can pay you at. Subject to additional bonuses from crowdfunding, and I'll crowdfund the remainder. So those are some ideas of supplements that I have. I also want to do, because I'm a nerd and I like things, big dream, I would love to find a way to sell prints of trading cards, or like just little art cards of characters from the Beast Within. So one of the things that I mentioned, actually I don't think I've announced this yet. When you realize you haven't announced something. Oh wow, I just realized I have not talked about this. So we have a character for we have decided on a character for the trading card that y'all will receive as part of backing the Beast Within at the requisite tier. The character that we have chosen is, of course, the bastard men themselves. The one character that I basically revealed this whole time. Hold on, let me just. So sorry, someone keeps messaging me, and I just have to like deal with this really quick. Please stop doing this to me. So sorry, just give me a second. Wait, sorry. So the announcement is the character that's going to be featured on the trading cards for the Beast Within from the orders is Rehan of the Eclipse. The one Therianthrope that has willed himself into becoming a Therianthrope. Or at least the first one that's making a huge announcement about it. The leader of an underground organization known as the Eclipse. He is our first trading card. Would they be the same setting-ish, or would it be Enjoy Space Adventures? Oh, we're doing different genres, baby. We're doing different genres. We're gonna have space werewolves. We're gonna have space werewolves. We're gonna have wizard werewolves. We're gonna have kaiju werewolves. Like, y'all, the Rise of Rahu, which is the adventure I'm going to be running for Big Back on, has birthed this huge, big goal in my head of, like, having a, like, whole supplement that's just, here's the world of where this is happening. Here's the lore. Here's the lore of the like the like Pacific Rim-esque agency that's protecting the folks from kaiju. Here's the lore of the kaiju. Here are some like special features that you can choose, you know, when you choose your job. So like that would be a fun supplement to have. It's an y'all have stumbled into my hyperfixation. I'm so sorry. But like I would literally have like additional rules in there where if you get the supplement you can be like, hey, like you can choose a role that you fulfill here in this particular organization, whether that is like you're a researcher or like you are like a kaiju behavioral analysis or you're a like person that like handles big mechs, whatever it is, and then you get like a little ability or something. Where mech wolves, Mel. You see the vision. You see where this can go. I hear the cry of the people and they're telling me this is what they want. And I, by God, who am I to deny them? Who am I to deny you where mech wolves? So yeah, like that, like we are definitely going to be expanding settings. Literally, once I am done with the base of this game, and mind you, this is just the first edition of this game. As I mentioned to Ozra before, my big goal is to have a print run of this game, to get it published, and all that really cool stuff. That's my big dream. And I will be doing supplements for them too, because that's fun to do, right? Yeah. Oh, what else? I do have intentions of chatting with Cam, who I work with from Daylight Publications. I've done a lot of work for. I wrote a lot of lore for Cam. I still am writing a few more projects with Cam for the Daylight system. And I'm probably going to reach out to him and be like, buddy, you keep releasing new things. How do you organize your files? How do you organize your ideas? I might even do that now, because I got a lot ideas popping around this little noggin. So I might just like be like, how are you keeping track of all of your ideas? Please tell me. Val, more cannot be approved. The people will rejoice in the goofiness and such galore. I think, you know, I'm here to represent the underrepresented. I'm here to represent the furries. I'm here to represent the kaiju enthusiasts, the monster appreciators. Like, and like for all these supplements, I will be recruiting writers, because there's no way in hell I'm doing that all on my own. I'll probably be like lead writer and developer, but like no fucking way I'm doing that on my own. But I'll be like working with some folks that I deeply respect in the community. I'm going to be earning cash. I'm hopefully, before I even start all of this, I'll have a full-time job that will help me kind of like put some money aside for these projects. But yeah, I have a lot of ideas for the Beast Within, but for now I have to stick to making the base game, getting that done, and know that whatever I don't cover in this game, I can cover in patch notes. And we're like, here's your next patch note, enjoy. I did more playtesting. Actually, this is kind of broken. We're gonna fix it right now. Also, organizing Val, spreadsheets are a divine blessing. I know. I need to get good at making spreadsheets. That is something I definitely need to do. Yeah. I need to figure out a way to like organize my spreadsheets to like put all my ideas down. Oh, I'm so sweaty. I'm so sorry if I keep wiping my face. It's getting really warm in here. But yeah. Do folks have any more questions? That's kind of pretty much most of what I wanted to cover for this Say of the Beast Within. I know it's not as long as our usual streams. If folks have any other questions, please let me know. I'm gonna try and get another State of the Beast Within before I go to Big Bad Con. It'll probably be talking more about the adventures of the adventure that I'll be running in Big Bad Con, the Rise of Rahu, and talking more about the lore there, talking about a lot of other stuff. But yeah, let me know your thoughts as we move forward. Amazing. Thank you all. While we're kind of like wrapping things up, thank you all so much for being here. Seeing a lot of engagement in the chat, seeing folks show up means the world. Thank you so much. Thank you for continuing to believe in the Beast Within. As a reminder, we'll be running the crowdfunder until the end of the month. We're already funded. We've hit 122%, I believe, of our goal. We are about 2,400 some raised. If we can hit 2,500, that'll be really cool and dope, because I can then get Griffin to draw mythological beast art for us. If not, that's okay. That can be a future supplement, and that's fine. But yeah, so we have raised the cash. We're running it to the end of the month, and if there's anything you want to grab, now's the time to do it before the 31st of August. Just get it done. And as usual, I didn't put this in a while. On Saturday, we're back with another episode of the Chaos Protocol on Transparent RPG. Those who do not know about Transparent RPG, it is an all-transgender person of color-led actual play series created by Connie Chang. Our campaigns are set in a non-colonial, anti-Orientalist multiverse, and they center compelling stories about queerness, grief, hope, and the power of love. You can catch our second campaign, the Chaos Protocol, on Saturdays, 8 p.m. Eastern. The Chaos Protocol is centers around 3 doomed agents of a transplanar agency who are there to try and protect the multiverse from the dangers and discover secrets and mysteries about the multiverse. But yeah. Any plans to get help with other writers with mechanics themselves? Not currently. Mostly because there's no budget. Most of our budget has gone to pay the folks that are helping me right now. And also to not just hire artists, but to which are both my friends and my partner. And layout design also held by my partner, and all of that is also paying sensitivity consultants to help me once this game is done to sensitivity read the game, make sure that it's all good and fine on that angle, and also like when I do playtesting, the bigger playtesting, I'm gonna be playing playtesters. So unfortunately, I do not have the budget for more writers, which is very sad because I wish I could. But in the future, when I do update The Beast Within and go for a published run, I will be reaching out to more writers for sure. This is just the first edition, and I'm very, very excited. And I'm literally like, most of the budget, most of the stuff, money that we raised is like going back into like making the project as good as it can be. But yeah, thank you all so much for being here. We really appreciate it. Are you talking about Transparent? Are you talking about The Beast Within? Reminder to follow me on my socials. Wow, I really did do that at the same time as the timer went. That's so funny. And Discord. If y'all are interested in playtesting small bits of this game and also being the first to know when the paid playtesting is out, please join my Discord, because that's where I'm going to be announcing all of that. I'm going to have sign-up sheets probably in the next couple weeks for folks to come and test out some aspects of the games. Probably like the combination, like I'll be making character sheets and y'all play those characters and let me know how, and I'll be running the game and y'all can let me know if the game makes any sense or if the roles and everything make any sense. So yeah, that is planned. So feel free to hop onto that Discord and join us for those fun playtesting.